Restaurants and bars in most of the state are closed to in-person dining, which means limited options for those who are looking to meet someone. Even in a pandemic, single people in Colorado are still looking to make a connection. But how? CPR's Claire Cleveland found out.
3 weeks ago, Susanna Yosting of Denver was in Hawaii with her dad, who had a medical emergency. After he was out of the hospital, she found herself with a lot of time on her hands. Yosting, who is single and lonely, found herself swiping through Tinder when she matched with Maren Holt, also from Denver. They recounted how they hit it off right away.
I guess you would have swiped on me first, because I think when I swiped on you, it said that we were a match.
Okay.
I think, and then you must have been online or got it immediately and sent me a message really quick.
Yeah.
5 days later, after Yosting was back in Colorado, the two met up for a socially distanced date in a park. With masks, they sat on separate blankets and ate snacks while they talked for hours. Holt brought homemade Rice Krispie treats, and Yosting brought mini champagne bottles and orange juice for mimosas.
And then I walked her back to her car, and I was like, I don't know how she would take it if I tried to give her a hug or tried to kiss her. And so she's like, okay, bye.
It was weird.
It was so weird. And then I literally sat in my car and didn't even pull away. And I was texting her. And I was like, okay, let's do this again, except not distanced.
They knew from the week of texting beforehand there was some physical attraction. The date only solidified it. They had a tough decision about how to see each other again. They wanted to be responsible, but they also really liked each other.
We had made plans to hang out again, and I was like, well, I think we need to have the discussion of, do we have the COVID distancing mentality?
They didn't choose the COVID mentality, but before making their decision, they weighed their options, considered who they would be around and whether it was safe or not. They aren't the only ones navigating these decisions. The stay-at-home period was essential to flatten the curve and buy time to scale up healthcare capacity, testing, and contact tracing. But quarantine fatigue is real. Denver matchmaker Hope Rike knows this all too well. She's worked for It's Just Lunch for over a decade and says people need a manual on how to date in a pandemic. Without one, each of us has to decide for ourselves how to mitigate risk.
Love is not canceled. I write that in my planner every day. I put that up on my wall. We have to remember that more than ever, we need love, and more than ever, people want love and want to have that connection, stay connected.
All of the people interviewed for this story had their own way of interpreting and abiding by the current social distancing guidelines. Jacques Gonsolin, a gender-fluid queer person from Denver, has decided to date virtually over video. But that need for some in-person connection hasn't gone away.
Dating has obviously changed significantly for me. It's a total negotiative state where I'm like, should I take that risk? Should I risk my life as a immunocompromised person so that I can feel intimacy or love?
Couples matched by Rike make the decision for themselves on whether they want to meet up in person. But Rike says the video dates have some major silver linings.
Clients getting to know that other person so much better because they don't yet have that physical aspect of it, complicating things or maybe rushing things. When things slow down, it can allow more time for self-reflection, and not only self-reflection, but relationship reflection. Like, what is really important to me in a partner?
Since that second date, Yosting and Holt have seen each other just about every day. And it's pretty obvious this was meant to be.
No matter what, she's like, well, if this makes you happy, I'm going to do it kind of attitude.
Yeah, and for me, I think what really drew me to her was how much she seemed to put into things, even when we were just texting before we met. It's amazing.
Whether you're dating, focusing on self-love, or working your way through a relationship during the pandemic, good luck. I'm Claire Cleveland, CPR News.